This is our Workshop Wednesday. This is project number 5 in our art gallery class, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do a video for project number 6 because I want to finish up the art gallery class. So this should be a really easy class to do. This is already, there's adhesive on the back of that, so you don't have to glue that down. And this is all the stamping that we have to do. So it should be kind of fun. And so I'm glad you joined me. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so for this one is a top fold card. So we're going to need this nice long, I guess the next 2 cards use these long pieces that are 4 1/4 by 8 by 11. And then this is the awesome cards DSP we're going to use today. So I'll set those over here. I don't want to get confused. So basic white, I'm going to go ahead and cut this at 5 1/2 like I always tell you to do. There's very few times when I don't have you do that. And so basic white, we need 3 3/4 by 5. That's the inside. That's usually the inside size, 3 3/4 by 5. And then I need one that is 1 inch by 4 1/4. So I'm just gonna take this and make this 1 inch. I'm not gonna worry about making it 4 1/4. But I guess I will, just because that's what I have there. We're going to be stamping the happy birthday on that. So 1 inch by 4 1/4. So we don't need any more whisper white, or I have to get used to saying basic white because they changed us over to basic white. Native navy, go ahead and cut that in half right here. And then we need 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I just seem to use these same measurements. Whoops, that's 5 3/8 right there. Because I like the DSP. My cards always have a lot of DSP on it, and so that's why I use a lot of the same basic card sizes. Another native navy, 4 by 5 1/4. 4 by 5 1/4. And then clear my trash away. And then another native navy, 1/2 by 2 3/8. So I'll go over here and do my half by 2 3/8. That way it'll fit perfectly behind our sentiment. And so I think we're done with our native navy. Yeah, okay. Then terracotta tile. That is this kind of orangey looking, coral looking. Terracotta tile is one that's 3 3/4. No, 3 3/4 by 5. That's for the front as well. A lot of cardstock in this. And 3 3/4 by 5, and then 5/8 by 2 1/2. 5/8. Is that 5/8? 5/8. 2 1/2. That's going behind the sentiment as well. And so saffron, 3 7/8 Like I said, there's a lot of cardstock in this. 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and that goes on the front too. So there's 3 layers of cardstock plus your DSP on the front. So that is a lot. All right, and then so I think I can put all of this. I'll probably forget something. The last 2 videos I've forgotten something. Had to do it at the last minute. And keep these straight so I don't lose any of these little pieces. DSP is going to be 3 1/2 this way by 4 3/4. So 3 1/2. Kind of a small piece of DSP here in the front. 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. I like these colors together. This gray background is really pretty. All right, there's our card front, and then from your kit, your little goodie bag, to die cut our letters, we're going to need the Night of Navy and the So Saffron. Now this is the Bumblebee. The lighter one is the So Saffron. You won't worry about the ribbon yet, or the pearls. And I think that's it, unless I forgot something. And hopefully I didn't. No, I don't think I did this time. But if I find it, oh, you know what I'm forgetting is to score the cardstock, like card base. So 5 1/2. Normally we score at 4 1/4, but this is a top folding, so we're going to score at 5 1/2. And then we're going to fold it in half and get our bone folder. I'll come back to comments here in just a minute. Okay, so comments. I'm back to comments. So what shall we do first? The stamping. Let's get our 3 1/2 by 5, and we're going to stamp the Happy Birthday. You are lovely. We're going to stamp You Are Lovely. And I'll get my Stamparatus out, and we're also going to use our block today, which we don't normally use. I'll get a random stamp pad to go under here to keep that flat. My 4x6 window sheet, because I have to put You Are Lovely, and I want to make sure it's straight. So for our stamps, we're going to use a big flower stamp here, the detail of the big flower stamp, the leaves and stem, the You Are Lovely, and the Happy Birthday. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for now. I'm going to put those here so I keep track of them. All right. So You Are Lovely right here. You Are Lovely. It's going to go on the inside. That's going to be stamped with Night of Navy. I think that's one of my favorite colors. I have a few favorites. Mossy Meadow is one of my favorites too. So I'm going to put this under and stamp it, not in the center, but kind of over to the left here. Just want to make sure it's level. And then ink up my pad again. And I always like to do it twice just to make sure. Okay, so now my You Are Lovely is done. I'm going to wipe off that plastic, and I'm going to use this because it wipes seem to do a better job of getting that plastic clean. And now I'm going to put this up here against that, on that line there, so I can kind of keep that straight. Clean this off. I will use my chamois for that. And then dry it. So next I'm going to do like a watermark of this flower here. So I want to make sure I have plenty of room for it. And may have put my You Are Lovely a little bit lower than I did in this one. Okay, so I know I have room for them now, so I'm going to do the stem first. Do the stem first. And this is going to be a stamp off and stamp on kind of thing. And hopefully that's going to stay in place. So get my scratch paper, and that way I can stamp off on this. That's going to be Pool Party. So I'll ink up my stamp with my Pool Party, and then I'm going to stamp on this, and then I'll just get a kind of a ghost image on here, which is more of a watermark kind of thing. It's still pretty bright though, isn't it? That's okay. Alright, so I'm done with the Pool Party, and I'll clean off my stamp. So next we're going to do the flower, the big part of the flower here, and that's going to go there. And again, we're going to stamp off and stamp on, and use a So Saffron and stamp off, and then stamp on. That way we don't have quite as strong of an image. So let me close that up, clean that one up. And then I'm going to take this image here, which is the kind of the detail for that larger flower. I'm going to get our D block and our Daffodil Delight, ink up our Daffodil Delight, and then stamp off on this. Might stamp off a little bit more, and then we're just going to put that right there, give it a little dimension. See, it makes such a big difference when we use the detail for that flower. All right, so let me see. That's the inside. Now let's see what we need to do for the outside. I think the only stamping for the outside is on this piece of, it's 1 inch by 4 1/4. I'm going to do something a little different with this. Let me find, okay, so here's the largest label in our dies for this, and I'm going to go ahead, and this is backwards, isn't it? I need the handle on this side because I'm right-handed. Alright, so gonna die cut this just regular like. Okay, this is a little tricky, so I hope this doesn't cause you any grief. Okay, so I've cut it. And what I found was for the happy birthday in this stamp, I'm looking for this. This one was too small for the happy birthday. That label that came with it. And then this one was really kind of too long for this card. So I had to alter it just a little bit. And how I did that was once I die cut it one way, you know, you can see where it fit in there. I moved it up. There's the corners, the pointy corners, and then there's one more, and I cut off past that. So let me make sure that's the right size. And yeah, that is. So I repositioned it back in here, but you can see the corner and then one of the little notches, I bypassed that and then set it in there so that when I cut it, it's going to cut those off and hopefully it's not going to move. I think it just did move, so I'm going to have to do it again. I will put it down with some of my tape here so that it doesn't move. You don't have to do this if you don't mind having that longer, but it won't fit on the backings behind there. So let me show you what I just did. So I just cut off that much right there. And now it's going to fit my happy birthday just fine. But because I've already cut it, I'm going to have to do this a little differently when I stamp it. That's why I wanted to cut it first. So I'll move that out of the way. It's not that hard really, but I don't like to do that when I do my classes, but I think it's good for you to see that you can alter the sizes of things just by how you move them around on your die. So let's get back over here, get my 4x6 window sheet because I want to place this just right, get my happy birthday back out, and stamp my happy birthday there. And it'll make sense here in just a minute. Pick that up and make sure that's still in the corner. Happy birthday. So I'm going to get my scratch piece of paper that I keep handy. I have a little bit of, it's still sticky. I had put just a little bit of this on there, this seal. I'm going to slide this underneath here and line that up. Make sure my plastic's where it needs to be. Line that up. And then I'm going to ink that up. Happy birthday. I just had a birthday. Yesterday I showed you all my beautiful cards I got. It was fun. All right, and clean up my mess here. Hopefully this won't be too hard for you. This is the only one you have to do that to. So you'll learn something then, right? Hopefully you will learn something. I'll clean off my happy birthday off of my plastic. And that's it for our stamping. Now this has a little bit of, the die puts like a little crease in it, in the paper. So if you don't like that crease, what you can do, and you can do this with any die cut that might have creases on the sides of it, you can put it between two pieces of white cardstock. And those are pretty big. They don't have to be that big. So I'm just putting it between there. And then I'm going to run it through here. And what it's going to do is it's going to press out. It's like you're ironing it. And now it's going to be perfectly flat. And you can do that with any die cut that has any kind of dents or image pressed, pressed from the dies. But sometimes you get those little dots in your die. You can do that to get rid of those little dots in your die as well, in your die cut. So there's my happy birthday. And I think we are ready to put our card together, except for we do have to die cut the letters. Just want to say, I put my machine away too soon, didn't I? Well, that's nothing new. That happens all the time. All right, so get my machine back out. This time I'm going to take now this is about a 3 by 2.5 piece of, why does this not have, okay, I found a piece in my that has the adhesive. This one must just be random. Somehow it got in there without adhesive. But hopefully yours has adhesive on the back. Both of these should have adhesive because I wanted to make it easy for you. So you're just going to you might have to turn it a little on an angle to get it to go through there. And I'm just going to run it through this way, and then I'm going to run it back just to make sure that it got a good cut. And it did. So I'm going to pull this off. I don't want to make my letters wonky. And don't forget about that J, because the J has that little piece that if you lose it, your J won't have a little top to it. So don't lose your little part to your J. This part up here, it looks like a little hyphen. All right, so we're going to get those out. See, my Take Your Pick tool is perfect for that. Just want to so hopefully everybody has adhesive on their yellow. They're so saffron. Just want to say all right, that's done. Now we can go do our Night of Navy. Make sure that all everything's out of that die before you try to do this again. All right, we're going to do our Night of Navy. Go back and forth just to make sure. I think one pass is probably enough, but I am just I like to make sure. Okay, so we'll get all these little pieces out of our and I will say it's kind of tricky to put these letters on, but not impossible. It just takes a little patience. And have I lost my J top? I think I might have already lost my J. the top to my J. I have these pieces. Oh, it's still in the die. Good. Thank goodness. I'm probably out of camera over here. Sorry, guys. You really don't want to see me struggling with this, I'm sure. Okay, just want to say, that's a cute die that you can cut all of those at one time. All those letters at one time. I like that. And I like word dies too, so. All right, now I can move my machine out of the way. Whoops. Clunk. All right. I don't know, I may need this. I better bring it over here. Just want to say, now the yellow goes on the bottom. And what I'm going to do is we're going to just kind of stagger these so that the yellow is kind of to the above and to the left, kind of like that, and just barely. So I'm going to take this off, this backing. And this is where this comes in handy, because it will stick to your hands terribly. So trying to get that where I want it. Okay, there's my say, not bad. Just let's start with my Y. I think it does better to start with your Y. Don't ask me why. Okay. So I'll start out kind of below and to all right, my just looks pretty good. Moving right along. Start with my T. Okay, there's my 1, 2. You're getting addicted, Lynn. That's funny. Well, welcome to the club. It is a big club. Okay, so just want to say, now here's the tricky one. Oh my gosh, doing this little apostrophe, but like I said, it can be done. First I have to take this off, and you can only imagine that it is fun. Come on. No, not yet. There you go. Awesome. Now that's not too bad. So we'll put those away till we can get our card put together here a little more before we can put those on. So let's start at the very beginning. a very fine place to start. All right, so the larger Night of Navy is going to go here, then your So Saffron, then your Terracotta Tile, then your DSP. Okay, so let's just get busy and get it together here. So I'll get my Stampin' Seal and we will make quick work of this. That's 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so the ribbon. The ribbon is our Daffodil Delight ruched ribbon. I don't even know what you're supposed to say with that. Okay, so the smaller ribbon of the ruched ribbon is 5 inches. It's going to go around the bottom, and it's going to be 1 1/4 inches from the bottom of the ribbon is 1 1/4 inches from the bottom of the cardstock. So I'm just going to kind of figure that is good. Oh wow, that was perfect. Except that I didn't leave myself enough room. I need more ribbon over here. This is 1/16 of an inch. Really small yellow just to make it pop. And this is going to go on the navy. Whoops. I am a reckless driver over here. I'm running off the road, running off the edge of the cardstock. Okay, here we go. 1/8 of an inch. And then this is going to go here on the front, 1/16 of an inch. Not a lot of room to wiggle here. Okay, I'll go ahead and do the inside too, because that's easy. This is so pretty. It's going to go there. I wanted to make it like a watermark so you could write over it to write a message, but it's so pretty you almost might not want to do that because you don't want to mess up your beautiful flower there. Okay, good deal. Ta-da! Now we're gonna do this. This is gonna go on the navy, and then the navy's gonna go on the terracotta. I like color, can you tell? I love blending colors together. But I think Night of Navy goes together with so many colors. That's why it's one of the neutral colors, I guess. There's our happy birthday. That's going to go on the terracotta tile. Now, if you didn't cut down your happy birthday, you may have to cut a longer piece of terracotta tile and Night of Navy to match the size of your happy birthday. But you have some left over, so you should have enough to cut to size, to a bigger size. Okay, so here is, oh, you know what? I forgot about the ribbon. Oh my goodness. The ribbon goes under here. This is going to go over here, and we're going to take our rather than use this, we're going to take our scissors. We're going to take our scissors and cut just like a really small amount, kind of the width of that. off the edge. See, like that. And then I guess I'll do it on the other side too. Y'all are learning all kinds of weird stuff today, huh? Okay. I'm always thinking outside the box anyway, so I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to put this one over on the other side. And then this way it won't, it'll fit over that ribbon. Now this one's a little too close to the edge, but you know what? That's gonna have to stay there because it's not coming off. So I'll remove this. Don't get too close to the edge. I got right on the edge and for the one side, but it's on the bottom, thankfully, so it shouldn't show too much. Come on. Now you can, I don't know if you can see, but like I got right up on the edge there, and I shouldn't have. I should have left a little space. Happy birthday. Make sure that's level before I push it down. There. Now, before we do our bow, we're going to do our just want to say. And our little apostrophe up there. Now I have some glue on my finger. I don't want my fingers to be the least bit sticky because these letters will stick to my fingers naturally anyway, and I don't want anything that's going to stick them. So when you get these placed where you want them, I still have sticky on that hand too. Oh, thanks, Pat. All right, so I'm going to take, starting with my Y, I'm going to pull that away and put it back. That's a little to the top, too high to the top, but too late now. And then probably should start with the T, like I said, the little tail of the T, start with that. And pull it back across. Want. Then the 2. Start with the T here. To say. Start with the Y. Go across. Just want to say, and then the little little apostrophe right there. It's going to go right above the J. Just want to say. Now all we have left to do, guys, is the ribbon. And like I said, I think this one was this. I think the 6-inch was supposed to be wrapped around your card because this one. All right, so you're going to put it underneath your ribbon and then bring this one over that one and then through the loop that you just made. Okay, now don't pull it tight. Don't pull it tight, because what you're going to do is you're going to take this end, pull it a little tight but not too tight. You're going to take this end and push it underneath the ribbon, and you're going to turn that knot around, rotate it around so that the knot is in the front. The part in the front is like pretty and not the knot. So the knot's in the back, and this is more like a bow now. And then you can kind of pull it. And then when you get that where you like it, I'm going to kind of do that. I will do an angle. I need some new scissors. These I've cut with paper and now they're no good. And is that a little too much? Let me see. I'm going to cut it at this angle. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, I'm going to cut it at the other angles. There, that looks a lot better. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. I could probably cut this one too because it's a little long. So I'm going to cut this at the same angles. That angle and this angle. There. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for watching my Workshop Wednesday.